I've been just watching the first gameplay presentation of Planet Coaster 2, which, by the way, you can see here in the background unedited. I will put the link to all of this in the video description the moment it goes live on YouTube, because right now it isn't. And what they have been showcasing is so much. The first thing I just want to point out here is a lot of people thought when they saw the Planet Coaster 2 announcement is, oh, it's just Planet Coaster 1 with now water in it and water parks. Oh, great, it's a mod, it's a DLC. This is not Planet Coaster 2. Why are they doing this? Those greedy bastards. And now that they have been showcasing this, this is so much more. This is not just water parks. Yes, water parks, slides, they're all coming, but they're changing so much with the base game. It made my jaw drop on how much you can now do. Like, everything is now customizable. I think that is very important to point out. As you probably know, there were limitations in the first one, what you could actually customize and how far you could go. That is now going out of the window, and you can just customize the ride with literally everything. They showed us some lights, how they customize and put them on the rides, and then they were also talking about like how some developers just put a shark on a ride or a stone with a palm tree. Like, you are not limited anymore to what you can actually do with the rides. And of course, blueprints will be back, or well, they will be introduced with much more blueprints. And what they want to do is they also want to give people the choice who just want to not create a coaster from the scratch, but actually give them the possibility that there is already very much like a lot of choices with finished coasters, and then they can just change all the little details on it. And that also means you can customize now flat rides, right? They showed an example at the beginning where a flat ride is just missing everything. It looks super plain. It doesn't really look integrated into the park. And then they showed another example a little bit later where they were doing exactly that, right? They have put down all the little objects, all the little lights and whatnot to make this fit into a water park, because there is no limits anymore on what you can actually change. And that is just amazing. It is such a good thing. And of course, they did show the slides. There are a lot of slides there. You can also go into the detail there. You can customize them completely from the ground up. And well, then you have to test them to see if you're not killing people with it, which will definitely not happen. And they also showed like how you can create the ports. And that is another thing. They took a huge step forward with their customization tools. You can see it, by the way, here, how they are just putting this ride into a pathway. I know for people who might have never played the first one, this is not really something special. For everyone who has played the first one, this is very special, because you can do that, right? Like, you build a pathway and people then we're going from A to B, and you would put the rides next to the pathway, but never like into the pathway. And drawing pathways yourself was also always a lot of work. And they also showed that a little bit later into the showcase. Like, they showed so much. Please watch the whole thing. It is a lot, and I cannot cram everything into one single video. It's really a lot. But they took a pathway and they just painted it. Like, I cannot really explain how amazing this must feel to use, because building a pathways, you were always a little bit limited, and now you can create like your whole like hallways and like those plazas where the people meet. You can see it here, like how they have been drawing those plazas, and they just did this with a simple paint tool, right? They were painting a circle, and then the game was filling that out. And that you can just do that. The same goes here with the pools and with the slides, that they're basically coming as a package. And you can just build it in there, right? And now all the visitors know, oh, there's a new attraction here. there's something new here. I can interact with it. The pathing of the visitors has been apparently improved a lot. And again, if you have played the first one, you know how important that is. And it's just, this is not Planet Coaster 1 DLC. They took most of the feedback people have been asking for years now and finally put it in. They made some tremendous changes, which were apparently not that simple to do, and they could have just put that into the first one. They basically built this game from the ground up. Speaking of which, they also talked a little bit about the consoles. So consoles will have a limiter in place, and that limiter will dictate on how many rides and little small doodads you can actually put into your park, right? And I know that might sound a little bit frustrating and a little bit unfortunate, but this is basically to protect the consoles, that the performance would not go completely to shit. And they haven't told us yet, though, what that amount of rides and other things will be you can put into your park, because it's still very much work in progress, right? It's still very much work in progress. And that's, of course, a good thing that they're still trying to figure that out. Now, for the PC has no limitations. If you're playing on PC, don't think about it. Well, you can think about it because you can still put in a check mark and just say, you know what, I want those limitations too, because I'm very conscious about my performance in those games, and I want to always make sure that the performance is just right. Of course, as I said, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to put the check mark in as a PC player, and you just do your thing. So that's pretty nice to have as well. But man, they showed like just the idea that you can now customize everything is so good, and it makes me really happy. It makes me really happy with this game because we have been wanting this. They are also giving us much more information about what is happening to a ride, how much money it makes, how many guests are waiting, like how many guests are coming in, and so on. Like they are showing much more information here. Also, and this is really interesting, they haven't talked about this, but they have showed it. There is now a power requirement you sometimes see on the side, and it's like, wait, power requirement? What is that supposed to mean? Like we now have to take care about power? That's interesting. Also very interesting. You now have to keep your pools clean. So not just sending a mechanic over there to repair things, but also check on the filters, because if they don't work, your pool with some really nice water in it will become ew, just ew. And so you want to look out for that as well. As I said, that is of course fantastic. There's so much new stuff, and it's not Planet Coaster 1. This is really Planet Coaster 2 with new options, with new things to do, and improvements on the old ways. And I'm just super happy about that. So I cannot wait to finally play it. If you are, by the way, visiting Gamescom, they also announced that, well, you can basically see it in the gameplay footage down below in the left corner. This is the Gamescom build. You will be able to play this if you are at Gamescom. If you cannot make it, like me, well, then you will have to wait a little bit longer. But again, this is fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to get my hands on it. Thanks so much for watching, by the way. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to leave a like. If you want to see more of Planet Coaster or strategy, management, and building games in general, that's what we are focusing on here on the Mole Under Management channel. And I would appreciate if you might subscribe to the channel. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.